We're live.
Oh, man, okay.
We're live. That was it. That's 4:30. I'm Adam Olsen. I'm the MLA for Saanich North in the Islands. Good afternoon. You are watching episode 17. It's been 17 weeks.
17.
Well, it's been 19 weeks because I missed 2.
You did, yeah.
Actually, it's been 20 because I missed 3. Anyway, this is the Public Circle Live. This is the public outreach arm of our constituency, my constituency office that my buddy Aldous here runs.
Hi, my name's Aldous.
You are?
I run Adam Olsen's constituency office.
It's true.
Yeah.
We are shooting live today on we could, if we were to promote this, we could be like, we're on location.
Well, we are.
We are on location.
We are on Salt Spring Island.
Salt Spring Island today. We did the Rental Housing Task Force. The review of the Residential Tenancy Act is underway in British Columbia. I'm honored to be a part of that process. And today we did an event on Salt Spring where we listened to people about their experiences around the Residential Tenancy Act.
A good turnout. About 40 people showed up, and It seemed to be a lot of people had different ideas. So thanks to the staff that put that together on that task force, and sure there's a lot more work to come.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot more work on our side of it as well as we go through what we're hearing from British Columbians, what we heard from them in the consultation process. Of course, there's a website, engage.gov.bc.ca. I probably should have checked that out before I tried to start doing it. But anyways, if you go to engage.gov.bc.ca, you'll see the Residential Tenancy Act update and the consultation going on that. We're going to be in Victoria next week, Surrey following that, and then one last stop. It's slipping my mind right now. Perhaps should have researched that before going live.
In, Burnaby, actually.
Burnaby.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And if you can't remember that link, just type in Rental Housing Task Force, and I'm sure you'll be able to figure out where you can submit your comments. But that's not what we're talking about. We are talking about something that happened this week.
Nothing happened. Did something happen this week? What happened this week?
Something big happened this week. Some major file that you've been working on for quite some time, and there was a pretty disappointing announcement.
Yeah, so the provincial government announced that the tenures for the fish farms in the Broughton Archipelago were going to expire, and that they were going to go to a month-to-month, that they weren't going to take any further action than that. They were just going to allow the tenures to go month-to-month, which means the fish farms that everybody thought were going to be, or that everybody wished anyways, were going to be removed from the migratory routes of wild salmon are not, and that they've got a four-year grace period, I guess, at which time they then will align with the DFO part of this, the Department of Fisheries and Oceans part of this. Anyway, they also announced that there was 2 items that were added. If sustainable aquaculture, and this is really important because the provincial government continues to talk about fish farming as a desire to build a sustainable aquaculture industry. So for those of you that thought this government was going to move away from fish farms, that language is very, very concerning. Anyway, two concerns. Two conditions. One, DFO has to state that the fish farms are not going to impact wild salmon. And the second is that fish farm companies need to have a benefits agreement with the First Nations in the territory that they're operating in. And I ask this question, shouldn't they have already been doing that all along on both accounts? In my press release, I highlighted this as like saying, a surgeon saying, I'm going to start washing my hands before surgery. It's essentially the same.
Thanks. I'm glad to hear that. Makes me feel really confident you've been following the right thing all along, which is exactly the problem with the approach that the government is taking.
Yeah.
So, what does this mean?
Well, it means that basically, as some have said, it means that basically we're kicking the can down the road 4 years. Clearly, the provincial government does have challenges with the federal government and the federal government's position on this. There's no question about that. So there is a lot more work that needs to be done with the DFO and with the federal government in making sure that they are not also licensing fish farms, because they do have a majority of the jurisdiction in this. The other thing is that I think that it has the real potential working against the government's expressed desire to implement the UN DRIP, United Nations Declaration of the Rights of Indigenous People, and reconciliation. This decision essentially says only First Nations, only fish farms who want to operate in a First Nations territory have to sign an agreement with that First Nation and that territory, ignoring the fact that salmon migrate the entire coast of our province and deep up into the heart of our province, and that First Nations all throughout our province rely on it. So I think that they're really trying to be all things to everybody in this. They were trying to escape with what appeared to be a win, when in reality, I really think that this sets First Nations relationships back. So, I mean, for those of you who don't or weren't following this issue, tenures, the province has one piece of jurisdiction, and that is the seafloor bottom. That's where they can actually, you give the permission for the fish farms to anchor to the bottom of the ocean floor. That's the only jurisdiction that the BC government has on this whole file, correct? That is correct. That is the jurisdiction that we have. So that's what came up. And the feds license the operation, the location, and they license the operation. Yeah. And what I mean, you're not going to get just cut it off right away. There's a number of people that are employed in BC by fish farms. So that's right. It wasn't like June 20th, every fish farm was going to stop operation, even in the best case scenario. Correct. But maybe you can talk about what your approach would have been here. So our approach would have been when the Ministry of Agriculture received the Finfish aquaculture report back in February, and it said basically First Nations need to have benefits agreements signed on this first. The second thing is that the second thing is that we are seeing a body of evidence that's growing that fish farms are in fact threatening wild salmon. We've known this for a long time, but the sciences from DFO and from others are starting to really show that. And so this announcement this week is kind of curious, because DFO knows that fish farms are impacting wild salmon already, and they're not doing anything about it. Anyway, basically, we're in a situation in which what did you ask? What was I just forgot. Approach? Oh, my approach, right. It's been a long week. It has been. It's been a very long week. Anyway, I would say the approach that we were going to take was, we would say, you have 18 months. You can let those fish that are in the pens mature to harvest those fish, and then you would have then the fish farm companies would have enough time to decommission the site safely, and basically that they would have to go. It's kind of a harvest and go kind of approach to things. Move on. And then a really important part about this is that we would have supported the industry on the innovative side to be moving and transitioning the jobs in the industry and the development of protein onto land, into a closed containment on land fish farm company. And there's a lot of advantages to that. Absolutely. I think that pretty much covers the main thing that's happened in BC politics this week. Yeah, I would say that. So look, I'd say this about it. I would say that British Columbia has chosen kind of a race for the bottom, or a bottom of the barrel kind of approach to this. We've said that, look, it's fine for fish farm companies to continue to pollute our environment for free. And I don't know many British Columbians that think that's all right. But anyway, let me know if you do in the comment section below. But from everything that I've seen on this, and I've been working on this file extensively, I can tell you that British Columbians are quite concerned about allowing fish farm companies just free pollution. Well, in fact, there's like a majority, like 76% of British Columbians, or maybe higher, wanted fish farms gone. They didn't want fish farms on our coast anymore. So there's a lot of public support for changing the status quo here. That's right. And what we've got is essentially a dirty industry. That's essentially what it amounts to, is that, you know, there's evidence of disease, there's evidence of sea lice, there's evidence of deformed fish, there's evidence of the feces from the fish farms polluting the ocean floor. There's this is a particular problem on migratory routes. That's exactly right. So there's all this evidence in place. What British Columbia could have done by transitioning to a land-based system is they could have said that, look, we are going to create an environmentally friendly, ocean-safe, top-of-the-line product. Like, this is like the AAA beef of
Aquaculture.
aquaculture. Instead, we've chosen, we're good with the product that we've got. So when you hear aquaculture companies say, oh, it's not really economic for us to move on land, what they're really saying is it's just cheaper for us to keep the status quo, and they fight like you know what in order to keep it that way. And what I think is, as a province, we should be a lot prouder of ourselves in that. We should stand up and say, no, we're going to create the best product. We're going to create an ocean-friendly product, a wild salmon-safe product. Instead, that's not what we have. We've got, the government trying to be all things to everybody. We've got them talking about creating a sustainable aquaculture industry while saying that, that it's damaging wild stocks. We have got to start speaking more forthright about what's actually going on here rather than trying to just please everybody, because we know we're not actually going to be able to do that ever. So I don't know why we're striving to do it. We should just be honest and just be straight up with what's going on. What else is going on? Anything else?
Well, for all of those people who might be watching on Salt Spring or coming to Salt Spring on the next ferry, we have
That's
our
right.
town
Like literally
hall,
this
the
ferry.
next ferry. Yeah,
like for all those that are already on the ferry.
exactly.
Right.
If you happen to be watching this on the ferry, we have our town hall tonight in Salt Spring, and it starts at 5:30.
How is that for advance notice?
Well, we have given some advance notice.
I know. So so let's talk about that. I mean, we've got a few more minutes. We've had the town hall tour.
Yep. We've been to Sidney. We've been to Pender. We've
Correct.
been to Galliano.
Yes.
We've been to Maine.
We have.
went to Saturna.
We did.
We have been to
Central
Saanich.
Correct. Yesterday and
And
today.
now we're on Salt Spring.
That's a whirlwind tour. That's seven. I was going to say 7 cities, although I think that actually some of those Gulf
5 of
Islands
those are not cities.
would be actually very, very displeased with me calling them cities. They're 7 stops in about 9 days or something like that. It's been a busy time.
A lot of late night ferries. We
That's right.
commiserate with everyone who takes ferries on a daily basis. Sometimes it's really hard to get home when you want to get home.
We for a guy that grew up on the Saanich Peninsula, it's good for me to understand the ferry life from the Gulf Islanders. I have to represent Gulf Islanders, and it's really important for me to actually be able to feel it. And this week I'm definitely feeling it, and it's been a long week. I'm exhausted, and there's still a few more days to go. But nonetheless, I'm looking forward to the town halls. We've had good turnout. I'm really, really happy to be able to connect with the people that are there. We've got some work to do to find better ways to communicate with people, to let them know that town halls are happening.
And if you have suggestions on maybe you didn't hear about it, or maybe I heard about it in these ways, but I couldn't participate because other events were happening, or maybe it's the wrong time of year to hold town halls, we're always looking to improve how our office runs and how we communicate and how we hold these events.
But we've had a really good time, and it's been a good time to connect with people and to hear the issues and to hear the issues straight from people. We get lots of emails, but it's great to hear the stories. It's also lots of great ideas have come up. I certainly love representing our riding in the legislature. This job is it's a fantastic job. I really love the work that we're doing. I love the work that we have ahead. And I guess in the coming weeks, we'll be talking about proportional representation.
That's right.
In fact, I'll be talking a lot about proportional representation in the coming weeks. I'll be touring the province next week, touring 3 more stops on the residential or the rental housing task force. As you can see, I'm a little exhausted right now. I hope I can make it through tonight. Anyway, and then following that, I'm going away for 10 days. And Emily and Silas and Ella and I are going to go to an undisclosed beach and camp for 10 days. And I'm really, really looking forward to that. I'm blessed about the opportunity to be able to live at home and work. It is a blessing to be able to live in the capital region and work in the capital region. But it is time for a holiday, and the kids are out of school in a week and a half, or 1 week actually now for them, and we're going camping. So I'm really looking forward to that. Just like to say hello to the mayor of Central Saanich, Ryan Windsor. I want to say also to Sean, I completely agree with you. We have such an opportunity to brand and market our coast as clean, something that we could say we're world leading in our efforts to maintain a clean I'd say green, but a clean West Coast. And that will only happen when we have the government behind that and doing that. So are we going to say anything else today?
I don't think so, unless there's any last-minute questions that you, the audience, might have. But I think we're pretty much... Well, we got to get to the town hall.
We do have to get to the town hall. So I'm going to pitch this. You can get a hold of us at adam.olsen.mla@ledge.bc.ca. That email is open 24 hours a day. You can email us anytime. We do our best to get back to you.
Not immediately. Might be 40 hours or so, depending. It might be a weekend. Just want to... The email is open 24 hours a day. Send an email whenever you want.
There's the office manager. Just managing expectations.
Yeah.
You can call our office, 250-655-5600. Our office is open Monday to Friday, 10 to 4 p.m. You're welcome to drop in and visit us. Later this summer, I'll be around the office a lot more, so perhaps you can catch me there. You can find our website at adamolsen.ca. All the stuff that we've been doing is usually posted on that website. It keeps good track of what we do. You can also see this video after the fact. Leave us a message after the fact. You can find us on my YouTube channel. Link is in the description below. And as well, if you leave comments, ask a question. I usually circle around later on in the evening and engage with those posts. So I look forward to connecting with you later. Please share this with a friend. We are always trying to expand the viewership of this, and we'll see you. I am back. I have one more week, right? And then I'm on holiday.
That's right.
So we'll see you next week, same time, same place, Facebook, 4:30 on Friday afternoon. Thank you a lot. Thank you a lot. Thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. I'll gather my words and go to this town hall.
That sounds good. See you later.
Till next time. Haikwa.
Haikwa.